Welcome to this Xtreme Footwerks clinical condition. This one is a follow-up to our orthotic trimming one we did several weeks ago, but this one is on orthotic cleaning. Very simple tips to try and get the most out of your orthotics. Really useful stuff. Simple. Again, probably worth checking out on video, just as Shawn does a lot of hands-on demonstration, which is always good to take a look at. All that being said, we've got a few more coming out with him in the near future, so please stay tuned with that, with a Q&A coming up soon, just kind of talking about generics versus custom made. With that, enjoy learning how to clean your orthotics, and hopefully you get a little bit more life out of them.
Today we're doing cleaning orthotics with Dr. Kyle Bowen, and we realized that the world is dirty, feet are dirty. There's a lot of rocks and dirt associated with activity, and orthotics get dirty. And the surfaces, we have a couple variations here at Xtreme Footwerks. We have a regular EVA surface. We have an ultra suede that goes over the surface. These materials do not themselves harbor bacteria, but they have a tendency to augment any bacterial issues with feet. The ultra suede will absorb some bacteria, present an issue for feet that have a fungal or yeast infection. It is in that case, when that's the case and they have an existing orthotic, they may want to consider treating their feet and having the top cover replaced that simultaneously in an attempt to eliminate the pathogen. That was a bit of a sidebar because we also are cleaning human excrement, detritus type things off of the orthotic. So what else gets on an orthotic? A lot of times dead skin impacts on the orthotic, especially in the older clientele. Sand, dirt, dust, dog hair. And when they get an odor, we recommend spraying them with like a 7th generation, was a brand, tea tree oil based environmentally friendly cleaner, and using water that's no warmer than lukewarm to rinse that off. If you have some materials impregnated in the cover, you can use a Scotch-Brite sponge and scrub a little bit. You don't want to scrub a lot. It'll debris the material and scratch it and make it rough and tear it up if you go too hard on it, but just lightly to get things off of it. They don't like direct sunlight. They don't like heat. So we don't dry these out in a sunny window. We don't put them outside in the sun. We don't leave them in hot cars. So those of you that leave these in your golf shoes in your black Lexus, you might want to take them out in summer in Phoenix, for instance. And they don't like sand. So sand has a reaction with them. So if you run in a sandy environment, you take your shoes out every day, but even more so because the orthotic cover will retreat from sand. It's at the point where they either delaminate because they're wet, which is about what will happen if they get too wet. They don't really absorb water. They just kind of start to fall apart in a couple places. They can be re-glued. If the top cover gets real soggy for too long and is wet and dirty, it's going to have to be replaced. We can do refurbishment, so refer to the little bit we did on refurbishment as well. The areas that have a tendency to get the dirtiest are in the heel, obviously, because when we go through heel lift, there's this little vacuum thing that occurs, and dirt likes to just find its way right under the heel and hang out right here. And then, of course, we have a tendency to, no matter what's on our feet at home, on our socks, whatever, we put our feet in our shoes, tends to impact in this area here, under the ball of the foot and in the toe area. Once it's too dirty and too worn out, you're definitely going to have to replace the surface. Other than that, if you've sprayed it more than once and you're treating your feet and you still have the odor on the orthotic, you're going to have to get the orthotic resurfaced and keep treating your feet. You can't expect a day or two of creams on the feet to eliminate a pathogen. It's a 2 to 4 week daily application process. So there's this weird zone where you might want to get some way into that, where you know your feet are looking a whole lot better than they were, and then get the top cover resurfaced on your orthotic to eliminate cross-contamination between the orthotic surface and your foot. Even though it's a closed cell phone, I don't understand. We don't really have any studies to show why this material will harbor bacteria and fungus and yeast. It shouldn't theoretically, but it does. After a while, it probably just impacted into the surface, no matter whether you clean it or not. It's pretty difficult without heat or really abrasive chemicals to clean it. But if you want to, you can put bleach on it. It's not going to destroy the orthotic, and bleach is going to probably work even better than tea tree oil based cleaners. So I've been known to spray mine with Tilex or 409 as well. All right. Any other questions?
No, I think that hits it for cleaning.
Cool. Yeah, they're, you can tear them up. I recommend gaiters for people that run in a dirty environment and walk in a dirty environment. And gaiters are a little item that goes right. So if you imagine the dirt's going to go in where the ankle's exposed, the gaiter goes up from the top of the shoe to where my fingers are right here and has elastic cuffs and prevents any place for that dirt to enter the shoe. So you can also see some models of footwear now that have kind of a neoprene boot in their construction. And that's a design attempt to prevent that dirt from entering your shoe while you're out doing your thing outside.
Those gaiters are pretty reasonable too, I think.
Yeah.
Very inexpensive.
Under $20, I think,
Yeah.
for a pair of the gator lows. $19.99 maybe.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Cool. Thanks, John.
All right, thanks, Kyle.